What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and today is Black Monday for the NFL. The Monday after the final regular season games on Sunday, where so many NFL head coaches find out that they have been fired. They get their pink slips. Some of them had terrible seasons. Some of them had disappointing seasons. And then always, there's a big surprise thrown in there. And I definitely think that the biggest surprise so far of all these guys who have been fired, who we're going to talk about, Matt Nagy, Mike Zimmer, of course, Vic Fangio of the Broncos, who was fired actually on Sunday. But the biggest surprise of them all is Dolphins head coach Brian Flores. And a lot of people are talking about this right now because when you look at the Dolphins, when you look at Brian Flores' record the past two seasons, you'd have to think that it's a little bit of a strange move for them to move away from him right now. But according to a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes, some people weren't all that shocked. Dolphins fire Brian Flores in a shocking move. Flores took over for Adam Gase before the start of the 2019 season. Flores spent 3 seasons as the Dolphins head coach and only had 1 winning season. However, he failed to get the team to the playoffs. The team hasn't been to the postseason since the 2016 season when Adam Gase was the head coach. And this is a team that went like 1-7 to start the season, looked miserable, then rolled off like 7 straight victories, finished the season winning like 8 of their last 9 games, something like that. But it was not enough. It was not enough for the Dolphins and what they needed to do, and they missed the playoffs. And Brian Flores gets fired. Now, according to everyone there, there's a little bit of a disconnect between the GM and between Brian Flores. Some people might not like Brian Flores' intensity. And also, when you just look at the Dolphins, it has kind of been a mess. Decisions to start to versus take him out when the game was on the line, when Fitzpatrick was there, his rookie season. And then this year, it looked like they were looking to do everything they could to not play Tua. They were trying to get Deshaun Watson. That never materialized. A lot of things going on in Miami that seem very, very dysfunctional, and Brian Flores is no longer there. In addition to the Brian Flores news, we have this one, which I've been looking forward to for quite some time as a Chicago Bears fan. Chicago Bears fire head coach Matt Nagy and GM Ryan Pace. Now, Matt Nagy deserved to get fired in the middle of this season, but that's not something the Chicago Bears have ever done. They wanted to hold off, and they did hold off to the end of the season, fired Matt Nagy and fired Ryan Pace. This franchise desperately needs new leadership at the general manager and the head coach position. Matt Nagy started his Chicago Bears career 12-4, went to the playoffs. We all know what happened, the double doink. Then he goes 8-8. Then he goes 8-8 and somehow makes the playoffs. And then he goes 6-11. He just is not cutting it. He does not understand how to lead this team or obviously evaluate talent either. And, Ryan Pace has had horrible draft after horrible draft, thrown so many first-round draft picks away. It's time for both of them to leave. Now, one of the rumored people that could be heading to Chicago that they might have some interest in is obviously the elephant in the room, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is a former Bears player. Obviously, he'd be a great fit for Chicago for that mentality for a Midwest team. But you've got a guy in Miami who's running this team right now, the GM in Miami, who is a Michigan guy. He wants Harbaugh there. Could that be part of the reason they departed with Brian Flores, even with the relative success that he had these past 2 seasons? Maybe that's the case. In other news, Mike Zimmer and GM Rick Spielman had been fired from the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have been a team the past several years that just seem to underachieve. Kirk Cousins, somehow, he's not the best quarterback, but he continues to put up good numbers and continue to play well when the lights aren't totally just on him. But they just can't seem to fit it all and piece it all together. The Vikings have yet another disappointing season. It's finally time to be gone for Mike Zimmer and for Rick Spielman in Minnesota. And the Giants, Dave Gettleman, although he's not been fired, he's retiring after 4 years as the GM. The Giants are one of the most mismanaged, pathetic teams in the NFL this season. Joe Judge, as of right now, still has his job as head coach. I'm not sure if that's a great move, but at the same time, with Gettleman and what he's been doing there, has Joe Judge really got a chance? I don't know. I think they probably just need a clean slate there as well. But what do you guys think about this? What's the biggest surprise to you? I think for most people, it's definitely got to be Brian Flores, but let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.